My life's been hard. The first thing I remember was my older sister Allie getting diagnosed with agoraphobia when I was 7 and she was 11. I felt like all my mom's attention was on my sister, so I always felt my whole life like I was always pushed under the rug. So that was a really hard time in my life, and I got really jealous of my sister. And I remember what made me forget that pain of being abandoned was eating. And by the time I was 10, I was already over 150 pounds.
Gina's childhood, I was the bad mom. She would fight me to get food, and instead of just saying no and dealing with a temper tantrum, I just gave in. I think I let her manipulate me 150%. So I think for Gina, I carry so much guilt that it was my fault she was so heavy.
My weight started to cause problems for me because I started getting bullied a lot. So that led to me acting out and getting punished a lot, which made things even worse. Especially with my dad, because he was the enforcer, kind of. And when I did something wrong and he was upset, my punishments from him could get brutal. He would hit me, pull my hair. But at a young age, I didn't know that was abuse. I just thought that's how he handled situations. But I would cry to my mom. But she never stopped it or did anything about it. And it wasn't just happening to me, it was happening to Allie too. My dad would punch me in my face until my nose bled. My dad would choke me until I couldn't breathe. My dad would kick me until I was black and blue on my legs, and I had to go to school like that. He would say that I'm not good enough, I'm not worth it, I'm disgusting, I'm fat, I smell, I'm stupid, I'm dumb. That's when me and my sister would escape and go to get food and go to every fast food place we could. And I was already up to over 300 pounds by the time I started high school when I was 14. But in high school, things got even worse because my parents got a divorce. And for some reason, my mom did nothing to keep us with her at that time. So me and Allie ended up living with our abusive father without our mom. And that's when things got really bad because there was just nothing holding him back anymore.
We weren't able to leave our home when the abuse happened. We weren't able to do anything. And when we were able to, we escaped and we got food. That was our escape.
I was just trying to constantly eat as much as I could, and that pushed my weight to over 450 by the time I graduated high school. And as I was getting closer to 500, it started to get harder to do things. But that turned out to be a good thing, because becoming disabled like that meant I could qualify for some financial assistance to get a place. And I talked to my mom and my sister about living together. I still hadn't forgiven my mom for how she handled things with my dad and us. But it was definitely a lot better of a living situation being with her and my sister instead of my dad. I was 19 and not quite 500 pounds then. So I was still trying to have a life, and I even tried to start to date then. When I was 23, I finally admitted to myself that I liked girls. And I got on a dating site, and that's how I met Beth.
When Gina and I first started dating, Gina's personality is what drew me to her. Gina has a heart made of gold. She's a fun-loving, caring person that everybody loves.
I really knew I loved her, and once we made our relationship official, things went really fast. Then 6 months later, we got engaged, and then a year later, we got married. So it was kind of very fast. Beth moved in with me, my mom, and my sister. And it's been a little awkward being married, but having to live with my family, with me and Beth sleeping on the couch. And being as big as I am now has also definitely put a strain on our marriage too. Because as I've gotten bigger and become almost immobile, it's become Beth's job to take care of me.
Throughout the day, I'll get a phone call or a text to get what she wants from a restaurant or a pizza joint up the street. And then I also have to make sure that I'm getting everything that everybody else wants. Her sister Allie, her mom Kathy, and it's not easy. I do feel like a caretaker, but I don't like the conflict. I don't want a fighting marriage, so I just get what she wants.
She tells me she still loves me and that my weight and how big I am now hasn't changed anything. But I know it has because we stopped being intimate. Beth and I haven't had sex since 3 years ago before we got married, and she always comes up with different excuses on why we're not. And Beth does make comments about how big I'm getting and how much I eat that make me feel bad about my weight. I just feel like at this point with how immobile I am and how bad my marriage seems to be, that my whole life is falling apart. At this weight, I'm very miserable. I'm 28 and I'm probably over 600 pounds now, and I'm only getting bigger. So I'm ruining any chance I have for a future, all because I can't stop eating.
What are we doing for dinner?
I have no idea. Beth's probably not going to cook. She's been working all day, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Gee, is Beth on her way home?
Yeah, I'm going to call her to just pick up some food.
Okay. Hey, Keith.
Hey guys,
Bye-bye.
what's shaking? All right.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry. I'm going to call her. Hi, babe. Where are you?
Oh, I'm going home?
Oh, okay. Well, can you go to the diner and pick up us some food?
No, we have food at home. I can cook at home.
You're not going to cook this late.
I can.
No, you're not. What's the big friggin' deal? I don't get it. Just go.
Wait, you
Well,
gotta call it.
No, you're going to call because you have to call.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Love you. Bye.
Yep, love you, bye.
I'll just text her.
Okay.
It's just not fair for you to be treated this way. And it kills me because she's your wife. She shouldn't do that to you. And she shouldn't constantly make you feel like you're the problem and tell you what you don't do. You're lazy, you smell, you're fat. Instead of building you up, you deserve so much more.
She is a good person, and I feel maybe it will get better once I change for myself, but only time will tell. Hi,
Hi, babe.
you got the food?
Yep. I'll just bring it in the kitchen.
Thank God, I'm starving. I know my family thinks that Beth makes things worse, but I know that my weight is an issue that I could change if I could just give up food. But if I can give up food, I would have done it a long time ago. But at the same time, I know my body's in bad shape, and it's getting worse every day. And if I don't stop gaining and getting bigger, I'll die because I didn't stop eating. If I don't do anything now, it's just gonna get worse and I'm going to die. You know, my sister's getting married in a couple of months and she wants me to be in the wedding. But I'm too big to be able to get around. So even if I could make it to her wedding, to be there for one of the biggest moments of my sister's life, I don't know if I want the rest of my family to see how big I gotten.
Gina has a hard time getting out of the house, and I'm extremely worried that she's isolated herself in a really big way. And it's hard. It's really hard. And now she's just secluded herself, and Gina's killing herself.